So I wake up, it's about 1 or 2 in the morning, and usually when I wake up at that time, he's laying right there next to me. And you get a feeling. I could already sense that nobody else was in the house. But I get up out the bed and I go walk around, and he's not there. So, I'm thinking like, what is that? So I grab my phone and I call him. You know, like, what's up? Where you at? He said that he fell asleep over his friend's house down the street. He was waiting for the clothes to dry. So I say, okay. But something in your gut tell you that that's some BS. Yeah, that's what my gut was saying. This is about to be a story time because this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. Say it with me, cousin. It was just a regular day.
What's up, Tripp? I am Frank from France. I kiss you. I wish you the best for your YouTube channel. I love your videos. You make me laugh. You teach me a lot of lessons that needs to be heard from the gay community. This is very inspiring. And you have almost 20K on YouTube. You keep doing better. All I can say is congratulations to you. Congrats. We do the best for you, and I hope 2020 will be your year. And, well, that's all I can say. And I love your opening song. This is very good. I like it. I know you see me on the television. I know you see me on the YouTube, but you know me in real life. I like this.
I know you see me on television. I know you see me on YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do. Cause they gonna study your every move and try to imitate what you about to do. This here for the gang. I don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move. Yeah.
I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool.
Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gon' study your every move, trying to imitate what you about to do. This here is the gang. We don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move.
The real deal is Triple Plug. It's the real deal. I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do. They gonna study your every move and try to imitate what you about to do. This right here is the gang, and they don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move. Love you, cousin Tripp.
Tripper plug, this the real deal. This tripper plug, this the real deal. I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gon' study your every move, try to imitate what you about to do. This here is the gang. We don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move. So, I was living in Atlanta, and the guy that I was in a relationship with had already been living in Atlanta for maybe a couple years. We were in a relationship before he moved to Atlanta in New York, but he needed to move to go to school and things like that. So I decided to stay behind in New York and finish up some projects that I was working on. And he went on ahead and moved to Georgia. Now, throughout the whole time, he would come back to New York and visit me, as much as possible. And, I guess we kind of got tired of that. And he pretty much was like, come to Atlanta. Move to Atlanta. You can have a great life here. I'm here and I still got to finish school, and it just makes more sense for us to be together. I was cool with that because I was pretty much tired of being alone and being without him in New York. So I packed up everything and I moved to Georgia. Now, when I moved to Georgia, the moment I got to Georgia, I had this sunken feeling in my chest. It was like I felt like I made the wrong decision. I loved New York. I had everything that I needed in New York, as far as all my connections, everything that I was doing. But I solely moved because of him. Now, the first red flag I had when I moved was I get there and I'm looking for him to come pick me up at the airport. He never showed up. It was his best friend that showed up to come get me. And I was just like, okay. Where my boy at? Oh, he busy. He couldn't come get you, so he sent me. I was like, okay. I let that go. But as I was riding to his house in the car, I just stared out the window and I kind of felt like I don't think this was the best decision. Something inside of you tell you, man, when you made a mistake. But I was going to roll with it regardless. We got to his house and, he told me, there go y'all room right there and things like that. And I was like, okay, so I went in the room, I put my bags down, and when I tell you red flag after red flag just was happening right off the bat. I had some clothes that was dirty that I wanted to wash, so I'm taking them out my bag and things like that, and I wanted to make a full load. It was just a couple of pieces that I needed to wash. So I noticed his hamper, his bag, of dirty clothes. So I said, well, I'll just wash his clothes with mine. This is the first day I get to Atlanta, mind you. So I said, yeah, let me just wash a whole load. So I'm going through his dirty clothes and I find a douche bottle, a Fleet bottle, a full bottle in there. And I found a bottle of Rush hidden in under the dirty clothes, and it was just like, I couldn't believe it. The first day I get here and this is what I find. And yeah, we had been apart, but we were still together. And he was telling me that, I'm focused on school and things like that. I'm not messing around with nobody. And that was one of the reasons that I was like, okay, well, let's move forward. You doing the right thing. Let's just be together. It was crazy, to find something like that on the first day, because that's automatically telling me that you're doing something. You messing around and doing something, and you hid this in a place that you probably thought that I wasn't gonna look, but for some reason, man, I always find things even when I'm not looking. So I waited till he came home and I confronted him with it. I said, yo, what you doing with this bottle and this and that? I thought you wasn't messing around and doing nothing. He said that his stomach was hurting, or he was constipated, and his friend gave him the bottle. He gave him the Fleet to help his stomach or flush him out or whatever. And I knew that was a lie. But I went and I asked a friend, I said, yo, did you give this bottle to him? He said, is that what he told you? And they started laughing and joking. And I was just like standing there and they cracking up laughing. And then one friend called another room and the friend like, yo, come in here, look what he told you. And I'm standing there and they laughing, pretty much laughing at my pain. Even though I probably didn't show it as much, I was just standing there and they was like, wow, you know, and they was like, well, you need to give him some. And I was like, are you crazy? They was like, well, you know, you ain't been around, you give him some, he, you know. And I was just like, okay, so I pretty much knew that they wasn't the ones to talk to about something like that. You know, I knew that it was a lie. I let it go. Now, I didn't like staying with the friends. Like, I understood that that's where he was at the time, but in my mind, let's move and get a place right away. We went out looking for places all around town. At the time, his credit wasn't good, so every place that we applied for, I got cleared on, and his credit, they wouldn't let him get it. So we kept getting denied for the places that we were looking for, and it started becoming a frustrating thing to me. I didn't move here to live with you and your friends. You know, I just never felt comfortable around them. You know, I would take a shower, get fully dressed in the bathroom before I came out. You know, it was just things like, these are your friends for 20 years, not mine, you know, and I just want our own space. I didn't move here to be staying up in the crib with you and your best friends. So I know I was putting that pressure on him to, you know, we got to get a place. You know, we looked for a few weeks and, you know, kept getting denied on places. Now, it was a house down the street from his friend that was empty. And it was a nice house. I guess one day he went and he spoke to somebody, spoke to the landlord, and, you know, he got a chance to see the place. We both went in the place and it was nice, you know, nice 2-bedroom, 3-bath, hardwood floors. It was very nice, fireplace and things like that. So I was excited about that. At first we were looking for an apartment, but I'm cool with the house. Like I said, it was right down the street, maybe like 4 or 5 houses down from his best friend. You know, so eventually we got that place. You know, he talked to the landlord and she showed him love and was like, sure, y'all could get it. So we moved into the place down the street. We took all of our things from that crib and just pretty much moved it down the street. So I'm excited, buying furniture, we getting the house together and things like that. We still didn't have a washer and dryer at the time, you know. So a lot of the times he would go down the street to wash clothes, and he spent a lot of time down there. He would be down there, you know, just watching the game or chilling with them. And I would be in the crib doing my own thing, you know, recording music or whatever it is I was doing. So on this particular night, you know, he says, you know, I got to go down the street to wash clothes. And he did that a lot. So it wasn't nothing. Like I said, it was just a regular day. I'm recording, smoking, and doing my thing, you know. I guess I fell asleep early. And I woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning. And he still wasn't home. So, you know, I'm like, where he at? You know, I get up, I walk around the house, I don't see him there, the light's still off and everything is still the same as I left it when I fell asleep. And mind you, he went over there to wash clothes probably like nighttime, like 8 or 9 or something like that. So I pick up the phone and I call him, ring, ring, ring. He answered with a sleepy voice, like, hello? And I'm like, what's up? What you doing? He like, oh, I fell asleep on the couch. I was waiting for the clothes to dry. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, he was like, I think they dry now. I'm gonna get them together and I'm gonna bring them, come home. And I was like, okay. Now, I don't know why something in my mind told me that was some bullshit. You know, my intuition was telling me that that was a lie. You fell asleep on the couch waiting for the clothes to dry. It sounded good, you know, and you know, call, you know, answer with this sleepy voice and things like that. So I said, you know, I'm gonna go down the street and help him with the clothes. You know, but still in my mind, I wouldn't have never thought or ever imagined what I was about to walk into. So I, you know, put on my shoes and things like that. And I walk, like I said, it's about 5 houses down the street. I walk up there and I get to the door. And as I get to the door, he's coming out and he got the clothes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it was just me, you know. He coming out the house. He got the bags. I grab the bags. And I'm like, okay, I was tripping. He fell asleep, you know. And we grabbed the clothes and we walking down the street. As I'm walking down the street, I maybe get like about 10, 15 feet away from the house. The door opens, the door of his friend's house. And a guy starts walking out the house. So I turn around and I look. And it's somebody that I never seen before. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I put the bags down and I go back up and I walk up there quick. With the quickness, I'm like, what's up? And I was like, who is you? And he was like, oh, I'm his friend. And I was like, you his friend? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, what the fuck are you doing here? He was like, oh, we was just chilling and smoking. Bruh. I was like, what? So at this time, my boy coming back like, you know, like, Ali, come on, let's go. And I'm like, nah, what's going on here? You know, I wish I could tell y'all what I really said, you know, what y'all could imagine it. What the fuck is going on, bro? Nothing, like, you know, we was just chilling and smoking. So our boy is steadily walking to his car. And I'm like, really? You know, I'm like, did you know? You know, once he get into the car, I'm on the passenger side. Oh, boy's still telling me, come on, let's go. I'm making a scene and all of this kind of stuff. And I was like, nah. So I asked old boy, I really wanted to punch him in the face. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, did you know that he was in a relationship? And he said no. And I was like, you didn't, did you? And he was like, nah. And I was like, did you know that he lived right down the street, 5 houses down? He was like, no. I was like, do you even know him? What's his name? He said, Dre. I was like, you don't even know this nigga name and you coming over his house, chilling? And he was like, and I was like, bro, let me tell you something, man. You need to be careful what you do. I was putting the dude up on game for real because I was mad, but it was just like, obviously he didn't know nothing that was going on. You know, I was like, you need to be careful whose houses you go to here in Atlanta. Because this nigga just lied to you about everything. His name ain't no Dre. He in a relationship and he lived right down the street. Now, I said, what if I was some crazy ASS
NIGGA and just beat the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I was that? And he was like, I'm sorry, man, I ain't know. Like, and I was like, yeah, you didn't know, bro. You need to be careful because this nigga ain't shit and you over here kicking it with him and you say y'all smoking and all of that. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, bro, you need to get out of here right now before I change my mind and I get real ignorant. And he was just still sitting there looking crazy. Old boy still like, come on, let's go. And he started walking down the street, like trying to avoid the situation. And it was something odd about him still walking and never even really, you know. So the boy says, I would leave, but I forgot my hat in there. I said, you forgot your hat? He was like, yeah. This is where it gets crazy, yo. That ain't it. I said, I'll go get your hat for you. At this point, I started to feel a little something for the boy because he was a young boy. I knew that old boy was lying to him. He ain't know nothing about me. He ain't know. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get your hat. So I go to walk inside the house. And I said, you know, first I said, yo, where your head at? He was like, I left it in the room. It's like, okay, so I'm like in the room. I walk in the house and I go inside, not the room that we used to stay in, his best friend's room, the master bedroom. I could hear music playing as I walked up to the room. Slow love music, Joe and Luther Vandross and Isley Brothers and, you know. I walk up to the room. The lights is low. Candles burning. Slow music. They had drinks there. Smelling good. It was a love scene. It was a whole love scene, like a romantic bedroom setting. Looked like something out of a movie. That's the part that really hurt me. I couldn't believe it. I grabbed the boy hat and I took it outside to him. And I told him, bro, you need to get the fuck out of here. Now at this point, old boy had went and took the clothes home and then came walking back down the street. And old boy took his hat and drove off. And he was like, what is you doing out here? You know, asking me what, and I was like, what the fuck you think I'm doing? I was like, this what you brought me up to Atlanta for, man? I said, you got a whole fucking love scene in the room with this dude while I'm down the street sleeping? And you do this at your friend's house? I can't believe you would do this to me, man. He was like, it ain't, like, I was just like, no, man, there's nothing you could say. You know, we start arguing in the street and I'm like, yo, I can't believe I came here. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man, with the quickness. He didn't want to argue and make a scene, so he starts walking back down the street. And at this moment, man, I'm standing in the middle of the street. And looking at him, I could see the car driving and turning the corner, and it was like a scene like out of a movie, honestly. I stood in the middle of the street, heartbroken. And I screamed at the top of my lungs, I can't believe you would do this shit to me. You a bum. I can't believe you did this shit. Like, It's one thing to cheat on somebody, but to romance and do these things for somebody, a stranger, that you haven't even done for me since I've been here. And to do it down the street from me while I'm sleeping in our crib. And the fact that you did it at your friend's house. That shit hurt. And you know, I guess this story time is really about following your intuition and friends. You know, when you get into a relationship with somebody who has friends and they've been friends for years and years. Now, I don't expect any loyalty from your friends because their loyalty lies with you. You know, but when you are a person who knows me and you know we've been in a long-term relationship and you would allow somebody to hurt me and just never tell them the right thing to do, I can't rock with you. So yes, this changed the whole dynamic of the whole group. You know, before I would go down there and we would eat or hang out and things like, I didn't want to go over there anymore because y'all know what this person is doing to me and y'all allowing it. Yes, he's a grown man and he makes his own decisions, but at me as a friend, I'm not going to allow a friend of mine to hurt and tear somebody down that they claim they love. You know, you can't don't bring your dudes over here because I don't want your boy, you know, tripping. You need to go somewhere else with that. They knew that he was doing that. And then y'all want to invite me down for Thanksgiving, invite me down for Christmas and things like that. I didn't feel like I was a part of it. You know, I don't want to sit and break bread and eat with people who don't have my best interests at heart. You know, so it changed everything. You know, they would have Christmas dinners and Thanksgiving dinners and he would say, yo, I'm going down the street, you know, to have dinner with them. You want to come? I would say no. It wouldn't stop him from going. So they just left me alone. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, any holiday that they all got together just to get together and play cards. I never went. And things like that start to tarnish the whole foundation and everything y'all have because these are your best friends and they gonna be in your life. And I'm supposed to be the person that you claim that you want to be with forever. But I felt like everybody was, it wasn't like they was in cahoots to hurt me. Nah, I'm not coming. I'm good. So yeah, that started a lot of depression for me because I was always alone and I felt like I didn't have nobody. You know, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't have friends like that I could talk to or go chill with and spend time with and things like that. All I had was him. Man, it don't matter how good of a person you are. If you were a person that is dishonest and disloyal, you wasting your time because they never gonna do you right. And it's not your fault. Don't think you did anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I made a mistake by giving up my life and going there to be with somebody that I thought loved me. You know, but like I say, sometimes God would use unfortunate situations to get you in a place where you need to be. Maybe I needed to be in Atlanta for other things and love was the only thing that would have brought me there. But why go through so much pain? Why take me through so much pain to get me to where you need me to be? I thought about that love scene over and over and it messed up everything. It messed up the new trust that I had found. It messed up my experience of wanting to be in Atlanta. It messed up any type of friendship or anything that I would have had with your friends. Now I don't want to be around them. I don't want to hang with them. You know, so now it's a separation. You hang with them and then you hang with me, and just when things start getting like that, it's just all bad, you know.